Now, if you haven't gotten the point by now, we really like this little 4.5-inch roller. And here's another area, again, we talked about maybe rolling a 9-inch into your trim. But this is going to be so much easier in these small areas. We can fit in between these doorways. And it'll allow us to continue, again, to keep this wet. In our small areas here, we'll use the small roller, and then we'll lay this down. As we progress out onto the bigger wall, we'll use our large roller for the bigger areas. Now, in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and cut in ahead of Dave, and he's going to do the rolling, and we're going to show how two people can really have a good technique if you get this system. So we've gotten to this point. Now, instead of me getting down and re-dipping my roller, I'm going to have Dave go ahead, since he's going to have the 9-inch, go ahead and place the paint for me. We talked about placing the paint, spreading the paint, and smoothing the paint. So we can place it any way we want. The way we're going to do it here is Dave's going to go ahead and get that 9-inch roller, give me some paint here, and that way I don't have to climb down off the ladder. We're placing the paint. Now we're going to spread the paint. I just grab this paint, run it up to the tape, grab a little more of the paint here, run it down to the top of the door, brushing into the tape, and then we'll do our final spreading. Just like a big roller, but it's a small area. Getting that texture. Again, you see the coverage. We're getting nice coverage all the way up to the ceiling. Brush it, terrible coverage. Can't emphasize this enough. So that's why this technique. Now I've finished smoothing this, and we've got to quickly move on to the larger areas of the wall. Okay, again, while Dave is rolling the larger areas of the walls, now I can comfortably focus on these two tools and just do the slight cut in at the bottom and the top as we come across. I just need to make sure I stay out of his way. But I'll roll back in, I'll get him some more cut in here, brushing into the ceiling, and again, the final move, take that roller and cover up that brushed area. And now Dave will come back and just blend the large roller. Won't have to get too close to the ceiling. And I'm going to go down to the bottom. Do some cut in down here. Try to stay ahead of him, but not going too far that this paint begins to dry. So I can obviously go a little quicker because I'm not doing as much work. Now I might even use this little roller as he gets a little closer so he doesn't have to get so close to the outlets. Now a lot of people will want to tape off these outlets just in case you happen to drag your roller and drop it over top of it. Of course, you want to be very careful around these areas. And so you can see how this paint is going on in one continuous film on the entire wall. We haven't pre-cut in, we're just wet into wet as we go. And this really does solve that common problem of the hat band where people brush in and brush down real low. Then when the roller comes over, we've got a double coat right here. So we're going to have one single coat, very uniformly put on with the large roller and the small roller. We'll progress onto the corner, move on to our next wall. Okay, now here's an area that we always have to have some concern with. Either we need to cut into this wall and stop if we're going to take a break at this point, or if we're going to continue, we can just roll right onto this next wall because we're going to be coming around on this quick. I'm just going to lay a little paint down in the corner, make sure I'm covered. And again, I'm going to lightly hit that other wall, but this is not going to be a build-up texture. And again, we have our nice coverage as opposed to the brush coverage. We have a rolled coverage all the way into the corner. And I need to move out of the way so Dave can get to the main part of the wall. And like I say, this is definitely much quicker, much more efficient, and a much better quality job when we can keep this paint wet. And again, many times this will be two people for most jobs.